Don't feel like cat fur, but it looks like a bear.
So I have 6 kids, and I avoid giving parenting advice to people, and this is not a parenting video, I want to be sure to point that out. But I avoid giving parenting advice to people because I kind of feel qualified to do so. However, when somebody's about to have their first child, or a friend of mine is thinking about having children, or whatever it might be, I do give one piece of advice. It's to pick a bedtime, make it earlier than you think you should, and stick to it. We never ever deviate from bedtime. I shouldn't say never ever. I mean, there's occasionally, Christmas Eve or something like that where we might deviate from bedtime a little bit. But for the most part, 99.9% of the time, we never deviate from bedtime. And there's a few reasons that we do that. First of all, we want our kids to be healthy and get enough rest. There's scientific studies that show that kids need a lot more sleep than adults. And so we want to make sure that our kids are getting enough rest. The next reason is kind of, I'll call it selfish for lack of a better word. We're always kind of stared at when we go to grocery stores in the mall or anywhere where all the kids are in tow because we have 6 kids. But we don't want to be stared at because one of our kids is being a jerk and screaming on the floor. And really the other big reason, the primary reason that we do have this core defining routine in our family is because it kind of transcends everything. We want our kids to understand that, hey, you need to be respectful to your parents, you need to be respectful to your friends and your teachers and all this stuff. And a lot of times when they're very, very young, the reason that they need to understand that is because mom and dad said so. And so we have set up this core defining routine in their lives of bedtime is bedtime, kind of no matter what, because mom and dad said so. Now, there are a lot of little reasons like health and rest and, making sure that they are getting enough sleep so their brain develops and all that stuff. But we don't need to define all those things for them. We want it to be a core defining routine that we stick to because it's what's best for them, because mom and dad said it's what's best for them. As they get older, I'm sure things will change, but that's one of the main reasons that we've set up that core defining routine in our family. To give you an idea of what I mean, we put together this quick clip for you to show you what it's like to get ready for bed in the Reese household. Night night. Night, Jen.
Night.
Love you.
Love you.
Night, Jen.
Night, Dad.
Love you.
Love you too.
Night, Jay. Love you.
Love you.
Night, girls.
Yeah.
Love you. Night, night. Love you. But how does that apply to business, Andrew? Well, I can tell you, when Richie and I started RA Marketing, we decided that there was going to be one core defining routine that we set up in our business to make sure that things run smoothly. For us, quite frankly, it's attention to detail. We want to make sure that when we receive an order, we start working with a new client, that no details are missed along the way, because that enables us to perform at the highest level every single time we get an order and run a campaign. That core defining routine of attention to detail, really kind of like the parenting analogy, kind of transcends everything. When we get something and we have just like a checklist of things that have to happen every single time, all the little tiny details of how we run our business are thought out well in advance, and these things are written down and defined in a process document. That way, when it comes time to onboard a new employee or to bring on a new client or to start a new program, it's very clear what exactly needs to happen to ensure success. The reason this is so important is because we're collecting real dollars from our clients, and we know that if we miss little details along the way, sure, we may be able to stand up a marketing program for them. We may even start to see some modicum of success early on, but when things start to fall apart, they will fall apart quickly, and we'll end up having a failing campaign and maybe even having to refund money, and that's never fun for anybody. So just like with our family, if we don't have that core defining routine set up, things are going to start to fall apart. With the family, obviously, it's things like the kids wake up grumpy, or they fight with their friends at school, or they argue with their teachers, or they're mean to their brother or sister, or they're jerks in the grocery store, or whatever it might be. If we deviate from that core defining routine, we're setting ourselves up for failure. And in business, if we deviate from the core defining routine of that high attention to detail, things are going to fall apart. And sometimes it's not noticeable right away. But once the true effect is in motion, it's very difficult to recover from, especially with some of the marketing programs that we do, because they're so quick. We're turning these things around in 12 to 14 days. If we miss the little details in the early onset of the campaign, sometimes it's not recoverable. So we want to make sure that everything that we do in our business follows this process that we've established, follows this core defining routine. That way, when we're taking real dollars from our clients and spending those things on Facebook or Instagram or other marketing platforms, we're making sure that every dollar is spent as efficiently as possible. So what'll it be for you? For us, it's attention to detail. That's our core defining routine. We make sure that we have this whole process built out for every campaign that we get, every brand that we have to stand up, all these different little things that we have to do correctly. We have a defined process, a defined routine for those things. So what'll it be for you? If you want to learn more about how we here at RA use our core defining routine to get amazing ROI and results for our clients, give us a call. Our contact information should be somewhere around on this video. And you can always like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is you got to do to make sure you see the next one of these videos. We're going to be putting out great content like this all the time, and we hope it's helpful for you personally and for your business. We'll see you around.